Welcome to our discussion of Dr. Sue Johnson's sixth conversation for a lifetime of love. Today we're going to be talking about bonding through sex and touch. Besides attracting us to one another, sex can also help to keep us together, to build a lasting relationship. Feeling fully bonded and satisfying sexuality go hand in hand. Emotional connection creates great sex, and great sex creates a deeper emotional connection. When partners are emotionally accessible, responsive, and engaged, which Dr. Johnson calls ARE, sex becomes intimate play and safe adventure. Secure partners feel free and confident to surrender to sensation in each other's arms, explore and fulfill their sexual needs, and share their deepest joys, longings, and vulnerabilities. Then, lovemaking is truly making love. Satisfied partners see sex as just one of the many sources of pleasure and intimacy, while despondent partners often view sex as the chief source of the trouble in their relationships. Why is this? Sexual distress is a sign that the couple is losing connection with each other. When they don't feel emotionally safe, it leads to a lower sexual desire and less satisfying sex, which leads to less sex and more hurt feelings, which leads to still a looser emotional connection. And the negative feedback loop continues. Humans are not wired to be wary and afraid and turned on at the same time. So a disrupted connection leads to a strained sexual experience. Depending on the level of closeness and comfort we feel with our partner, our goals for sexuality are different. Dr. Johnson describes 3 types of sex: sealed off sex, soulless sex, and synchrony sex. In sealed off sex, the goal is to reduce sexual tension, achieve orgasm, and feel good about your sexual prowess. It happens when those who have never learned to trust and don't want to open up, or who are feeling unsafe with their partners. The focus is on sensation and performance. The bond with the other person is secondary. This kind of impersonal sex is toxic in love relationships. The partner feels used and objectified rather than valued as a person. The second form, soulless sex, occurs when we are seeking reassurance that we are valued and desired by our partners. The sexual act is just a tag-along. The goal is to alleviate our attachment fears. There is more emotional involvement than in sealed-off sex, but the main emotion in soulless sex is anxiety. The more anxious we are about depending on others, the more we tend to prefer cuddling and affection to intercourse. Soulless sex can help keep a relationship stable for a while, but can also feed into our raw spots and negative cycles. If either partner lessens in their desire, there is instant hurt feelings and negativity. If this type of sex is the norm in a relationship, partners can get caught up in it obsessively trying to please, or in being so demanding that it turns off sexual desire. If this level of anxiety and uncertainty persists for too long in sexual encounters, it can drive lovers apart. The third form of sex is synchrony sex. Synchrony sex is when emotional openness and responsiveness, tender touch, and erotic exploration all come together. This is the sex that fulfills, satisfies, and connects the way sex is supposed to be. When partners have a secure emotional connection, physical intimacy can be tender and playful one moment, and fiery and erotic another. Emotional safety shapes physical synchrony and is the crux of connection and sexual intimacy. Connected partners can reveal their sexual vulnerabilities and desires without fear of being rejected. Secure, loving partners can relax, let go, and talk openly without getting embarrassed or offended about what turns them on or off. Securely attached partners can more openly express their needs and preferences and are more willing to experiment sexually with their partners. Emotional safety makes it possible for lovers to connect and reconnect, fall in love again and again, and let go and surrender to the sensation and enjoy their sexual encounters together. Touch in the form of skin-to-skin contact is the language of sex and the language of attachment. Touch arouses and it also soothes and comforts. Humans are dependent on physical touch from the moment they're born until they take their last breath. The best recipe for good sex is a secure relationship where a couple can connect through ARE conversations and tender touch. Even sex therapists concur that the essential building block of a healthy sexual relationship is non-demanding pleasuring. Many partners can tolerate infrequent intercourse, but they cannot tolerate feeling that their partners do not desire them. Synchrony sex and tender touch and the feeling of a secure attachment are all important aspects of bonding through sex and touch. Join us next week as we will talk about the final conversation for a lifetime of love, which will be how to keep your love alive. And until then, happy marriaging.